need a bigger table.
Well, we're doing normal split, so once everybody's managed to get settled, just to not disrupt the audio with the cameras, we'll get started. Let's go. Let's go forward. Okay.
Gregor, one change.
Nice. I like that. That's what we got that. An attack down the short side is what it's excellent.
After the way Nick Hainan went in Dublin, was that a difficult one to make?
Yeah, yes and no. I think it was a real promising debut from Nick, but Magnus was due to play. Magnus has played very well for us in the World Cup and at number 8 against England at Twickenham. He's worked more with the two back row colleagues and Jamie and Hamish, and we'd trained with Magnus at number 8 up until maybe about 4 or 5 days before the game. It means now we obviously difficult decision when someone plays well to drop out, and also Cornell Dupree who'd came on and managed to get 4 carries within about 5-6 minutes, and that's good for future that we've got depth now at number 8, and Nick has had a taste of international rugby.
It's been a bit of rhetoric, shall we say, being thrown about leading up to this, talk of Derek talking about Scotland being niggly. Heard even things about it being war, both sides hating each other. Does anybody need this sort of chat in the lead up to a game that's as big as this?
I don't know, you guys must love it. It's a very important fixture for both teams on the back of a defeat. This is our most important fixture that we play every year. We play for a trophy. It's the oldest game in the history of Test rugby. We know what it means to our supporters if we win this game, and it's nice. There's a bit of spice about the build up. Rugby is a contact sport, so you've got to get yourself fired up for that contact. And we know England are a very physical team. Their game is based on a few things, but probably the number one thing is winning gain line and attack and defence. So we know we have to be even more physical than we were last week to win this game.
Despite the result last week, is it fair to say you feel good about yourselves going into this game?
No, you always feel like there's work to be done. I'd felt the team was coming together over in Spain, on and off the field. I felt the quality of our training was high. The players were talking a lot about what they needed to do at the weekend. Leaders were stepping up, new leaders in our team. So we were all hoping, I had a good feeling that we'd deliver an improved performance, and a performance closer to our potential. This week's another week. The game always tells a different story, whether it's opposition, their tactics, whether it's weather that could be not so great come Saturday evening. But we have one game as a team under our belts, only one change in the side. So we've had a lot of learning there that we want to put into another performance this weekend.
The players who played last year and I guess the year before as well, they have that psychological feel-good factor that they know how to beat England and know how to get a result at Twickenham as well. Does that come into it at all this week?
No, I would imagine there's a number of England players have beaten Scotland over the last few years as well that are in their side, and we didn't beat them last year. So 2 years ago was a standalone game, given that we hadn't won for 10 years. It's been great that we managed to retain the trophy in the draw last season, but this again is a standalone game with new players, an improved English side. I thought they were outstanding in the World Cup, and I'm sure they'll be working hard to get back to that level this weekend.
Can you give us any update, if there is one, on the dialogue potentially with Finn?
Yeah, I spoke to him on Sunday night to let him know that we wouldn't be making any changes to our squad, and I'll reassess things again after we get through this weekend.
Was it a positive conversation from your point of view?
It was a conversation. So obviously it was saying to someone that it wasn't going to be back in the squad this weekend or this week, and we'll look at things next week.
So there is still a possibility he could feature in the championship at some stage?
Yeah, of course. Just like there's a possibility of Sam Skinner, Matt Fagerson, guys that have been out injured, hopefully back available to us in the next couple of weeks.
What does Finn have to do in order to reassure you that he's ready to come back in and join the squad?
Look, I'd rather not discuss that here. We've got big game at the weekend, and I want to be talking about the 23 that are playing in that game.
In terms of Eddie's comments, he seems to enjoy that back and forth, the mind games, if you want to call it that. You never really seem to bite. Is there a reason for that? Is it just something you don't think you can compete with him in that sense, or is it you don't see a benefit to him?
Now I'm going to bite. Is that why you've said that? Well, I've read Eddie's comments this week, and I thought they were excellent. I thought he analysed our game pretty well. I thought he made some really good assertions around Adam and Finn. I read them on what they do as players. And he knows that it's going to be a fight around the breakdown, run contact. At times it will be hugely physical. But no, he's a brilliant coach. What he's done with that England team when they went, I think 23 out of 24 games undefeated, how they played in the first half hour against us, that was the best I've seen as my time as coach here in opposition last year, and the game against New Zealand stands out as one of the best performances of any team in the last few years. So they're a quality side, they've got quality coaches, so it's a huge challenge for us.
Is it fair to say that with your experience as a player and coaching and such, so that it doesn't really need that preamble, that action is always fierce enough without anything else coming into it?
Well, I think both sets of players will be motivated. We always are. This is our biggest rival, a rival that has whether it's population numbers or more success, one that you obviously have to play your best to beat, and also that it's a game that means so much to our people. I remember back in 2000 when we'd lost 4 games in a row in the Six Nations and we beat England in the last game. You almost felt to the supporters that we'd won 4 games in a row, because the joy they get seeing their team playing against England and playing at their best and getting a win stays with them for days and weeks.
These words helped France?
No, look, France are a good side. If you'd asked me the week before, I was tipping. You can ask Mike Blair because he still owes me a $5 on this. I think the France at home are an excellent team. France in the World Cup in that game against Wales showed what a quality side they are. They were well on top in that game. Wales almost beat the world champions in the semi-final. And France have France have got a very good defensive coach now working with them, and some really good young players that have came through. So I don't think defeats like that are shocks. England are a quality side, but France are also a quality side playing at home, and they were fired up because it was the first game of the championship.
That's a good answer, but nothing to do with the question.
Yeah, there you go.
If your team was as elusive, France, you're in good shape. Just one of the Scotland attack, they about 6 minutes in Ireland's 22. What are the conversations and the work being done around that this week to try and get more committed? Yeah,
I think the sequence leading up to Stuart's almost try were what we want to do in that area. We carried hard, we narrowed the defence, and we took the space that was on offer. The sequence at the end was disappointing, and then we just got a couple of setups wrong. Perhaps Ireland were offside on a couple of occasions, but we've got to be better than that. We're literally inches from the try line. We've got to know where the space is, or know if we have to carry a couple of times to create that space. We've got to make sure we've got bodies in the right positions to clear contact. In the first half, I think when we got into the 22, I would look at a couple of the incidents. We felt we could have got penalties. There was a rip on the ground when Sean Maitland got on the 22, but also there was very good defensive play from Ireland. Sam Johnson made a good, not a line break, but a good dent in the defence. Fraser Brown carried with 3 guys clearing, and we took bodies out of the tackle, and CJ Stander came in rightly to get on ball. And that happens. You get some really good defensive play in that area, but if you are spending 6 minutes in the 22, you've got to come away with more points than we did at the weekend.
Gregor, a lot of your guys are rightly taking a lot of positives from the performance, but how important is it that you're not standing on Saturday evening trying to take the positives out of another defeat?
Well, yeah, that'll be disappointing, and we were really disappointed the weekend. We were pleased with a number of the areas that we'd worked on. We saw the transfer, and Ireland are a quality side, and I thought at times they defended really well. But we lost, and we know we had opportunities to win that game, so it's even more disappointing. And this week, if we're in the change rooms after a defeat, we'll be hugely disappointed because of the fixture, because of the good work that's gone in the last 3 weeks.